Good morning, and thank you, Reverend Smalls, for allowing me to speak today. And good morning, Hope Church. I'm so happy to be with you this Easter Sunday, and I thank you for being a witness to my testimony today. Because you see, I thought I was a pretty good Christian. I went to church on a regular basis. I attended Bible study. I attended Sunday school, and I always prayed. But in May 2019, God, my relationship with God changed. He took me to a whole new level. Because you see, I was diagnosed with end-stage renal disease, and I was told that my kidneys would probably fail after a year, and I would have to go on dialysis or receive a kidney transplant. We were shocked. I had no symptoms, no problems, and we were overwhelmed. We didn't know what to do. So we started to pray, and we prayed incessantly. And we asked God for direction and guidance. So as we prayed, we asked family and friends to pray with us, and we asked them to sign up to be a kidney donor, and many did. As a matter of fact, from May of 2019 up until the beginning of 2020, many were tested, but most of them did not qualify. As a matter of fact, the only person who qualified was my husband, and he was put in a paired match program. However, we knew because I had a high antigen factor that even in that program, it would be difficult to find a match. So again, we prayed and prayed and prayed incessantly. And then I decided that because we were asking for guidance and direction, if anybody brought an idea to me how to find a kidney donor, we would act on it. So a dear Christian friend suggested developing a car decal. She had done the research and found that it had been an effective way to find a kidney donor. So we developed one kidney for Lynette, and we asked friends and family to put the decal on their cars, and over 100 of you did that, and I thank you for it. And then we were introduced to a Christian website designer, and she decided that we should go on the internet because that is another way to find a kidney donor. I was very reluctant to do this, and I had to be convinced because you see, I'm a private person, and the thought of putting all of my personal information on the internet was just scary and overwhelming because you just don't know how it's going to end up. But because I was trying to be obedient, the idea had come. She was a Christian website designer. So then we developed onekidneyforlynette.com, and it was launched in August of 2020. And now I know that that was a direction from God because the website not only advertised my need for a kidney, but it also gave education on kidney disease, how to protect your kidneys, how to stay healthy, and we got the information from the Mayo Clinic. So it was an educational site also. And to this day, over 165,000 people have visited that website. Over 46,000 people clicked on the links to the Mayo Clinic or the University of Michigan organ donation program. 104 people signed up to be my kidney advocate, which means they would talk about my need and encourage people to sign up to be kidney donors and get tested. 82 people actually signed up to be a kidney donor for me. That is just overwhelming. And then over 4,500 people watched my Wednesdays with Lynette video that I did to highlight the transplant process and what it's like to be a transplant patient. So I know that that was a gift from God, that He wanted me to design that website for His people. So my faith was strengthened. I believed with all of my heart that God would deliver me a kidney. So again, we prayed and we prayed incessantly. So while I was in God's waiting room, I did a lot of reading on waiting. And when God puts you in the waiting room, He is trying to develop a closer relationship with you. He wants to reveal things to you. He wants to show you His majesty and His power. And He has you wait until you are ready to receive that gift. So I decided I would be anxious about nothing and prayerful about everything. And I prayed and I prayed and I prayed, and many of you prayed along with me. But that was the summer, and then we go into the fall. And we're all in the COVID environment. We're not seeing family, we're not seeing friends. We had not seen our daughter in almost a year. So the holidays proved to be very challenging and a lonely time for us. So when I went to the doctor in January, it was not a good visit. They talked about taking me off of the kidney transplant list due to non-compliance. I had not been taking all of my medication, and my health problems were increasing. Dialysis was approaching. I was depressed, and things just were not working well. But I begged them to give me another chance, that I would do what I was supposed to do, and they gave me 30 days to do it. And again, I know that was God intervening on my behalf. So then I was waiting to get the COVID shot, because after transplant, you can't get a lot of immunizations. So I decided that after I got my COVID shot, I would sign up and get the port, because my kidney function was constantly decreasing. So on March 1st, I was supposed to call and sign up and schedule my port, but I couldn't do it. My spirit would not allow me to do it. And then on March 4th, the Mayo Clinic called me and said they had a kidney for me. We were so excited. It was like we were having a baby. We were jumping up and down. We called all our family and friends. I quickly packed a bag. We got over to the hospital, and they prepared me for surgery. I'm sitting there on the gurney waiting for the doctors to come in, and they came in and told me that we would not get that kidney, that it was not a good match for me, and that it would have failed within the matter of a few months. So again, we left the hospital more depressed, in despair, and just very, very sad. But we continued to pray. Then, less than 48 hours later, they called me again and said they had another kidney for me, and it was a better kidney than the first one. So we go over to the hospital, I'm admitted, and I received my new kidney on March 7th. And we were elated. I'm still overjoyed, because it was truly a miracle that I got this kidney, because I had mentioned my antigen factor. Well, before the kidney transplant, my antigen factor was 93%, which meant out of every 100 people tested, only 7 could possibly match me. Yet after they tested that first kidney, they found out that my antigen factor was even higher. and it was 99 to 100%, which means that only one person or no one would have been a match for me. But God gave me the perfect match because the kidney that I received has no antigens to fight my body. It is just unbelievable. My doctors really call me the miracle patient. And I am not kidding. They do call me the miracle patient. They've told us that. But I know it was God. Nobody but God could have found that perfect match for me. And I am awed and overwhelmed by His majesty because 2 days after I got my kidney, well, I was at home and I had to go in for lab work. And while I was there, I slipped and fell and hit my head. They rushed me to the ER because they thought I could have a brain bleed or I could have damaged my kidney. After multiple testing, I did not have a brain bleed, and the kidney was just fine. Again, only God, only God. So I tell you that all of us can expect a miracle. God is a miracle worker. He works in ways that we don't understand and will never comprehend. But what we have to do is stay faithful, stay prayerful, and I'd like to thank Reverend Cathy of Fountain of Life Church and Reverend Smalls, because in the midst of my despair, they held a prayer vigil for me. And over 100 people showed up on that prayer call. And maybe some of you were there. And if you were, I thank you so much, because the prayers of the righteous availeth much. And God not only heard my prayers and my family's prayers, but He heard your prayers too. So know that God is a miracle worker. He has renewed my life. He can renew your life. He can work magic and wonder that we don't even have the ability to comprehend. We just have to believe that He is a mighty God, our Alpha, our Omega, our healer, our comforter, and He provides everything we need in this world. We only have to believe. And thank God this is the resurrection day, because He's resurrected me and my life, and He can resurrect yours. Thank you so much for hearing my testimony. Please feel free to share it. And the last thing I'd like to ask is please consider signing up to be a kidney or organ donor. There are over 100,000 people on the organ donation list for a kidney, and many of them will die before they ever get an offer. Only you can give the gift of life. It is a gift that is profound and beyond measure. So please consider it. Be blessed, stay well, and know that God loves all of us. Thank you.